Down.
Okay, welcome to another edition of Chicago by Night. Um, this one will take place in one of the Baron's many rented out office buildings um, within the city. It's in the northwestern section of West Town, same district as the Elysium that burnt down. Um, and on the top floor of an office building that's filled with many different like businesses that rent out office space is the conference room of the Baron, where he is joined by several of like the more influential representatives within the Anarchs. He's got Dr. Jacques Leroy, the Toreador who runs Mercy Hospital's trauma ward. He's got Gunari Yanko, the Anarch Ravnos. He's also got Pickle, the independent slash Anarch liaison to the other Nosferatu, and several other uh, members of like mostly Clan Bruja, and a couple other, and maybe like a gangrel or two.
So
And what you can go ahead.
yeah. So Samuel walks in a little bit late, a little bit uh, stressed. Some would say. Um, his hair is in a bit of a tangle, and he walks out, and following closely behind him is his school Frank. Um, the others have already been let in. They've been talking for a little bit about what the fuck this meeting is about. They don't really do meetings inside the Anarch movement, more rants and stuff like that. But he stands behind, like by his chair, and nods to everyone. So, brethren, welcome. Um, I'm sure, like many, you are wondering why I called you all here tonight. And I'm not gonna lie to you, some shit's been going on in our city. And it comes to that time now that we need to defend the free city of Chicago from Camarilla and maybe the Sabbat. I know, sure, many of you have heard, and it's true, many of the elders within the city, both on our side and the Camarilla side, and heck, maybe even the Sabbath side, is gone missing. That leaves a vacuum for us to fill. But there's also talks about an Archon being in the city. And that means we need to step up our fucking game because gloves are off from the Camarilla side at least. So I called you all here tonight to talk about the future of this great city of ours and how the fuck we're gonna crush those fucking Cammy scum.
Yeah, here, you met that one with cheers and stuff.
Yeah. So, getting down to business, a few things have been happening around the city. One of those things is, how many of you know Dave recently turned caitiff? Yeah, I see you down there. Yeah, surely,
You did.
Charlie, you know of him.
And like Gunari and Dr. Leroy will also like raise their hands. Be like, yeah, we met him. He's a good kid.
Good kid. Yeah, good kid. A few nights ago, someone threatened the life of our dear fucking Dave. And who else but the fucking Archon of the fucking Camarilla comes into our town and tries to stake one of ours?
Sorry, I'm just gonna stop muting myself. They're all like, no, yeah, that's fucking bullshit. Let's kick
Yeah,
their asses. How dare they?
fucking hell no. And I had a little chat with I think it was the Primogen, some of the Tremere, Cobalt, stuff like that.
I don't know if any of these guys have met him before.
Uh, uh, Dr. Cobalt. Yeah, seems like he was threatened as well by, or at least have a dislike for the Archon, and the Tremere have a dislike for him as well. So I asked him what he would do if push comes to fucking shove and we strike back, burning down every fucking house of theirs, every haven, every place of business. And he shrugs his little fucking shoulders and says, I don't know. Because this fucking Archon ain't as fucking big as she thinks she is. Because she comes to our town and just fucking do whatever she wants, and the Camarilla doesn't fucking like it. I think we should take this opportunity to reorganize ourselves into a bigger fucking structure than ever. And by that decree, I want to appoint a warlord for the Anarch movement who is willing to take up the role.
There's
Anyone?
like there's like a murmur that goes through the crowd. Um, like a few people, um, like kind of like I feel like the Bruja like push each other, like trying to like push people forward as if there's like a big circle on a dance floor, and they're just trying to like make fun of their friend by pushing him in. But they all like scramble back, and then off to like the side stands up um, Gunari Yanko of the Ravnos. Um, he walks over to where like next to where you're sitting, and he says, "As a show of solidarity and good faith between the Ravnos of Avondale and the Anarchs, who have been so friendly to us since our massive exodus from the old country, um, I will volunteer to sit on the council and uh, offer the help in any way that they can um, of the Ravnos of Clan Ravnos in this city. I cannot
Um,
speak with an empty tribute, but us will help you."
Sab stands up, takes him by the hand, and goes in for a hug and hugs him and pats him on the back.
It
Yeah,
seems kind of awkward, but he like gives you like a one-armed hug back.
yeah. I knew I could trust you. I knew I could trust you. um, uh,
Just one second, Dave. You were fixing the electrics in this random building in Westtown
Mhm.
when you heard the booming voice of your good friend Sam giving a speech, like just down the hall, and the door was like kind of ajar, and you could see that there's just a whole bunch of like people that don't look like they have any business in a boardroom, basically.
Oh, okay.
Bunch of like punks and like, well, I mean, there's like some blue collar people. There's probably a few people in suits, but like pretty much mostly a bunch of like average looking street clothed dudes and chicks.
that's great.
Oh,
That's great. I know
so
I
if
could
you want,
trust you.
I was just telling Dave if he wants, he can like stick his
Yeah.
head in.
Yeah, definitely. Now that he knows that Sam's there.
And he's just about to say something as the door kind of goes, does this as you poke your head in. He looks to you, and I think like the rest of the board council looks to you as well. Oh, Dave, my friend, you want to join us?
Yeah, sure. He kind of like checks just to make sure that no one else is, well, he's going to check to see if if the job like really needs his immediate attention, or if he can just like leave it to him. Also, if anyone else is like spying in on the meeting, as it were, before he'll like come in and shut the door behind him.
Yeah, no, you're not going to set any fires or anything.
Okay.
As you come in, like you're met with like a lot of like smiles and nods and like claps on the back and stuff. And this one dude, he's like an old fat guy with a big white beard and hair, in like a motorcycle jacket and like a wife beater, with, like his belly hanging out, and like leather, like way too tight leather pants and boots. And he's like, "Oh, hey, you're Dave. Yeah, yeah. Sam says you're a good kid."
Yeah. Well, I just do my job, you know. Oh, at least as well as everyone else. Well, as well as I should do anyway. Um, sorry, I'm sorry, Sam. Karen.
No, no. Dave, it's actually great that you're here. Everyone, I would like to announce another thing. And that comes doubly to you, Gunari. I want to appoint Dave as a reeve for the Anarch movement.
What?
Sorry, out of character. A what?
A reeve, basically, they're bullies. They go around and see that people don't fucking step out of line.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Well, I think that Dave would be a wonderful candidate for such a job. Just the other night, I gave him the biggest pistol you'd ever seen. He's definitely down for the cause and ready to get his hands dirty. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah. Uh, and Dave will probably like just go up to Sam, you know, just like friendly, you know, shake his hand and everything. What's for Reeve?
And he goes over to you. Well, only the most foolish baron would let pure and total anarchy rule. So basically, if you see someone do something bad, just tell them off.
Just tell him off.
Might involve fist fighting at some point, but they won't kill you. Or and you won't kill them.
Ah, right. In the back of Dave's head. Crap.
I just got inducted into a gang.
Yes.
Come to
So,
Chicago. Join a gang. Fix some pipes.
Yes.
besides that, there's also some troubling rumors going around, my friends, brethren, sisters of the movement. Now, some of the higher ups have been talking, and I'm just gonna say it here because I don't feel like the thing we do is keep secrets from each other. Some are talking about an elder rising, someone real old. I don't know how old and how much it's gonna affect us. Just keep your wits about you.
You see, like, from the crowd, this gross, like, brown. You don't know if it's like just the color of it or like if it's encrusted in dirt or worse, but like this weird crooked, like obviously Nosferatu looking hand stick out of the crowd. Dave, I don't know if you've ever seen a Nosferatu before.
I don't think. Well, yes, he did actually meet one at, Mark Peterson's character, Damien. Yeah, he did see one.
Okay, but he's yes. So did you see him all gross?
Yeah.
Okay, so this character, this is also a gross, unobfuscated Nosferatu. You can't tell the gender. It has, unlike perhaps you've seen on other Nosferatu, a lot of hair, but it's all like ratty and like looks dead and like crackly and kind of like Cousin It, like but really worse.
Uh,
Not quite so bad as Cousin It because you can still make out like a long witch-like nose, and like missing teeth and stuff. And it's got just like Dobby the house elf style like rags on its body. And it leans forward and it says, There have been whispers, and as it talks, it like moves its weird crusty finger, like in like a worm-like motion. There have been whispers down below that the Camarilla Primogen of my clan has retreated into his archives and has not been seen in many nights. Perhaps another of the missing elders. Also, there were further whispers, and it like reaches in like a hole of its rags and produces like a pacified, I guess, floppy pigeon, which it just like bites the head off of and begins to like drink it before discarding the body into like a waste paper basket. Um, that before he retreated, he met with Roslyn Rhodes, the Malkavian Primogen, who has also since gone missing.
Huh.
Yeah.
They were speaking of ill portents, and it points like up to the like ceiling, a red star in the sky.
Let's not move too close, move too hastily to conclusions, but keep your wits about you. And if you hear anything else, tell me.
I'm not
Dave?
quite sure if this. Well, I'm not sure if I should have told you this earlier, but you remember that Charles Cobalt guy that I told you about?
The Tremere, yeah.
Yeah. Before I first met him, I overheard a bit of the conversation that he had over the phone because I was like fixing like some pipes next to his office. From what the phone call that he had said, it seems like that Malkavian Primogen, he may have been captured by or killed by the Sabbat. That's the impression I got anyway.
Hmm. Fuck. 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 You know what? I am going to have that conversation with that Sabbat member who's been trying to get a hold of me. What's his name again?
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Mr.
Yeah,
Lawrence.
Mr. Lawrence. I'll talk to him about it. If not, I see that maybe you and I can go and visit the late haven of Mr. Roslin Rhodes and see if we can find a ghoul or anything that's willing to talk.
Okay.
Or maybe, maybe, you know what? Gunari,
Yes.
take Dave and see if you can't find any offspring of Mr. Rustling Rhodes. Malkavian, they know about each other, and maybe if you can find any of his schools. Would that be possible?
We can take Dave's truck and go check. What was it? Gage Park. Yes, that is where he kept his haven, deep in Sabbat territory.
Sounds like a fine little picnic. If you
They
find anything,
shouldn't bother us.
no, they should not. If you find anything, report back. I will take it from there. But for now, brethren, I have one last thing to announce to you. And call me a venture faggot, but I like to announce things of this sort. I have decided to embrace. And
Oh, who's the lucky lady?
my trusted companion and best friend. And he looks back to the big bodyguard standing right behind him, Frank Alexander. Veteran of World War One, trusted companion, and soon part of the movement. Give him a big fucking applause.
They gladly oblige. There's like a roaring applause, but I'm not going to clap that loud.
Yeah.
Me
In 2
neither,
weeks-
because there's people downstairs.
Yeah.
No wonder what I'm clapping for.
In 2 weeks' time, I'll embrace him. Until then, I'll give him some lessons in decency and how we do things on our end. Unless there's anything else to be said, your word is as big as mine, friends. This meeting will be closed. One more time.
Some yells, "Long live the movement."
Fucking A. Long live the movement. USA.
USA!
Yeah.
USA!
He begins to shout.
USA!
And
Yeah, and here's Dave without his American flag.
yeah. And
There's just one.
I really need to remake this overlay to include the American flag if we're going to have it that way.
There's like a flag set up already in the corner,
Alright, okay.
with a fan on it, so it blows majestically.
and
I'm sorry. That just really tickled me. Thank you very much, Jake. You fucking troll.
and
It's like in all of Eric's offices, it has one of those set up.
it fucking does. Right besides like the flag of the Union.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you mean the "Don't Tread on Me" thing?
Yeah.
The Gaston flag. Yeah.
Oh yeah, something like
And
that.
just like a chair made of $100 bills.
Yeah. So snap back to reality, so to say, as people begin to pour out and talking loudly and stuff like that. Sam grabs Dave, and he says, "Dave,
Yeah.
don't think I didn't gave this to you out of some sort of pity for you. I like you. You're a good kid. And I see you going a long ways.
Mhm.
Your position is it's not a nice one. Shit's gonna go down around you, and you might need to tell some of your brethren within the movement to fuck off at sometimes. And I'm sorry I burdened you with this, but I think you will grow so much by this position."
All right. Well, what do you suggest I kind of do, at least to prepare for the whole thing? I mean, I've seen the way that some of the guys fight. Especially the guys with what do you call it? The guys with potence.
Yeah, the power of might.
Yeah.
And he stands you up, and he puts your hands up in a kind of classical boxing guard. Keep them here on your toes. Move about a little bit.
Mhm.
Don't try to punch and just barely hit the target. Punch through the target, and you'll do fine.
All right.
Good. And he slaps you on your back. Now, get the fuck out. And he smiles at you, and smile. It gives you like coy smile.
All right, boss. I'll get the electrics finished whilst I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave leaves the room to go finish the job that he was doing.
And
outside the window, like right next to the whatever thing that you're fixing, there's Gunari Yenko in his like khaki pants and like New Balance sneakers and wife beater and gold chain with the wagon wheel on it, is just like leaned against your truck, smoking a cigarette and talking to some other like members of the Anarchs as they leave.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as Dave's finished with the electrics, he'll head down to his truck. Just say hello to everyone as they as he leaves and goes up to Granari.
Make a perception alertness.
Okay, we actually have dice stream back. Would you believe?
Yeah,
Two
it's
da-
awesome.
Yeah, 2 days after 3 successes.
Okay, cool. You feel like a slight change in pressure, I guess, in your back pocket.
Dave is just going to check his back pocket and kind of look around.
All right, so inside your wallet, in your back pocket, like all your cash and everything is still there, but your driver's license is missing, and there's a like damp business card in there that just says the name Pickle and an email address.
Well, that's mildly suspicious. Yeah, he's going to look at this thing, and then he's going to go to Granari. How's it going?
Ah, Dave.
Might have
Shall we
a
shall we check out Gage Park tonight or
yeah,
tomorrow?
we can. Well, if we have time, we can do that. But can I ask you a question? Do you know anyone called Pickle?
Oh yes, that nasty Nosferatu eating a bird in the meeting.
Ah, right. Right. Okay. Thanks. Right. How far is it to the park? Is it again?
Gage Park from here. I mean, not terribly far. It's like a couple of like little sections over, and it's definitely in Sabat territory, so it's like a rough neighborhood. But you're driving a maintenance truck, and you're rolling with the guy who just got voted the warlord of the Anarch movement. So
Mm-hmm.
you feel oddly confident, especially with the new becoming familiar weight of your pistol, or sorry, your revolver.
Mm-hmm.
That's I assume like on your belt or something somewhere hidden.
Yeah, in the overalls somewhere,
Yeah,
concealed amongst his generally nondescript appearance.
yeah. Um, so you're riding through Gage Park, and Gunari's giving you directions and stuff, and then he turns you right onto I forget what street it is, but like whatever whatever street the Primogen's place was, and it's still like all the lights and everything are still on. It's probably like I don't know, let's say 10 o'clock at night, and there's lights on. You can see through like the front like panes um, of like the window. Um, there's an old looking guy, kind of like the guy from Rocky, but like with more hair, holding a bag while this like big brawny dude, maybe he's like Samoan or something, is just wailing on it um, with like punches and stuff. And in the back, you can see a big like wrestling ring with one side's got bleachers next to it. One side has like a pile of chairs and light tubes and buckets. And there's like four dudes inside the ring, just like warming up and doing like tumbling and drills and stuff.
Hmm. Okay. Well, Gennari, how should we approach this whole thing? What do you want me to do?
I guess yeah, just follow my lead. He shrugs. There's like barking dogs on the street as you get out of your truck.
Yes.
Um,
Excellent inclusion of real life stuff. Dave's gonna get out. Obviously, lock his car before he goes there because it is a rough neighborhood. Make sure it's like in parked in like some place that's where it's in the light. Well, yeah, I'm just heading with Grenari. Just making sure that no one's. Well, make sure that everyone that they did see is who, is in the immediate area. You there, Jake?
He's just muted, I think.
Yeah. No, he's having problems again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a thing we call technical difficulties, and he's back.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm just kidding. It's not really Jehovah's Witnesses.
It's silent witnesses. Yeah. Did you get? Yeah. The last thing I said was basically, Dave is gonna park his car in some place where there's light, and also lock the car before he gets after he gets out, and lets Grenari lead the way. But he's gonna check just to make sure that they're not that everyone that they've seen inside this place is the only people that are in the immediate area. They're not going to get swarmed like 100 people.
No, you don't. No, definitely not. It's a pretty empty street. Maybe there's like a couple of people like walking down the road, or like the occasional guy like drinking like beer out of a bag, and like vagrants and stuff. But maybe only like 5 other people on the street, like right now. Gunari goes up to like the front door. He opens it up, and he walks to where there's like a small like little semicircular desk, by the entranceway. And he starts aggressively ringing the bell. It's like one of those little hand bells.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, the old guy goes like, "Hold on a minute there, champ," and he like goes away from the heavy bag where the dude is hitting, and the guy just starts like kicking it. And he comes up to like the front thing, and he's like, "What do you want? I'm trying to train a contender here." And Gunari's like, "We are looking for whoever is running the show while the owner is away." He's like, "That's me." And he's like, well, and he hands him his card. The guy like looks over with his one good eye, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I see." And then Gunari says, "Perhaps there's an office somewhere we can go chat in." And he's like, "Yeah, right this way." And then Gunari gives you like, he's like leading the old man away, but he turns his head like around towards you, and he kind of like taps his eye, and then makes like the 2-finger thing, like I'm watching you, but like scans it around the place, like the whole wrestling place. Like he's trying to tell you to like take a look around.
Okay.
And then he goes into the office with the old man.
Okay.
And they shut the door.
Okay.
Basically, you're alone in the gym with a bunch of dudes who are training in like MMA and like in the back wrestling. And there's just this big hulking Samoan guy. Like he looks like he might not be all there. He's got like a very like vacant expression, and he's got a wicked underbite, and he's breathing through his mouth. And he's just lumbering around looking for things to like pick up or to hit.
Okay. Dave's gonna activate all specs, heighten all the senses, not just one. He's just gonna just generally observe his surroundings. Okay, and that's
smells really strongly of like sweat and a little bit like blood, and a little bit like vitae, coming from somewhere very close by to you.
All right. Yeah, Dave will probably, just like generally scout out the place. He'll probably try and keep,
roll like a perception investigation.
Okay. No dots in investigation. So do you want me to roll just straight perception or what?
Yeah, roll perception, and I'll make it one higher difficulty, so diff 7.
Okay, rolling 3 dice. 1 success.
All right, cool. You smell that the vitae smell is coming from the like reception desk, one of the drawers in the reception desk.
Okay. And right. Dave is probably, he's going to make a mental note of the reception desk about where it is. Besides, the big Simone guy, how many other people are there? Like 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. 4 or 5.
Okay.
There's 4 dudes rolling in the back in the ring, and then the big dude is walking around, and maybe like one other guy who's practicing something else.
Okay. Are all of these guys living? Do they look like they're human
Yeah,
individuals?
they all look alive.
Okay.
They're all breathing. They all have like red cheeks and stuff because they're all sweating and stuff, and like it's very obvious to tell.
Okay. Dave is probably going to take a look at where the smell is coming from the reception desk. Does it look like it's coming from one of the drawers, or is it like just splattered on top, or whatever?
No, it's coming from one of like the bottom like pull-out drawers.
Okay. Dave, because he has such high larceny. Well, first he's going to make sure whether or not anyone is actually like looking in his direction.
They're not.
Okay. Not quite sure how exactly to do this, but he's basically just going to like take his phone out or his wallet or something like that, and just kind of like feign dropping it by one of these.
Yeah.
It's like, whoops, I dropped my wallet. Silly of me. Not literally like that, but
Better.
yeah, better.
Okay.
Then he's going to check this drawer out as he's like leaning down. Is it locked, or is it?
No,
It's not.
Nope.
Okay. Well, he's probably going to try and just check to see if what's inside there. Obviously, as discreet as possible.
Okay. So there's like a big black tub like container that's labeled like creatine plus special sauce.
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
It sounds like it's a white tape label that's just written on it in Sharpie.
Yeah. Well, in that case, he's going to shut that drawer, pick up his wallet, and just just lean on the reception desk, as it were, just waiting for Granari to show back up.
You're not going to take a look around?
Is there any other place other than the reception desk?
Yeah, the whole rest of the gym.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
It's like a locker room and a bathroom and like
right.
the place where everybody's like wrestling and lifting weights and fighting and shit.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Yeah, he's probably going to look by the weights area
Okay.
first, to begin with, anyway.
Give me like a perception alertness, and it'll be diff 5 because you have your height and stuff up.
Okay, that's 1 success. It's a bit disappointing, but it's 1.
Okay.
It's something.
So this okay, so underneath, so the weights right now are right next to where like the bleachers and chair section is, like next to the wrestling like ring, but far enough away that like it would be like about as far away as you'd be sitting if you were in like the front row at the show.
Mhm.
And there seems to be like a little piece of like suit jacket torn off, and like stuck under the legs of one of the chairs. And it smells kind of like vampiric vitae.
Okay. Dave is probably going to. Well, you said it's like in the weight section, right?
Yeah, like, but it's kind of like right next to it, like in where the chairs are, because they're right next to each other.
Okay. Dave is probably going to just like is going to look around like the actual weights and see if he can't subtly pick up that piece of suit jacket.
Sure, do like
If anyone seems like they would be, if anyone looks like they're taking an interest in him, he'll obviously try and be a lot more subtle
you
about
get, like
it.
catch a couple of eyes from people because you're you're in your like overalls, your maintenance man overalls, but they're actually paying you a little bit less attention also probably because of it. They think you're just like here to fix something. But
Okay.
make I guess like a Dex larceny to like pocket the thing really quick.
Okie dokes. I don't think I have any specialties. No. No, I don't. So, yeah, that's technically a failure. So,
All right, well, you kind of like you don't trip or anything, but you very obviously like reach down, scoop this thing up, look left and right, and then like put it in your hand and walk a couple steps away. But as you like pick it up and it's in your hand, because you said you activated all your senses, like your touch is
yeah.
like pretty enhanced too. It feels moist, and it feels less like a torn piece of jacket and more like a piece of skin.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a little weird.
If you look at it in your hand, it looks like it has like a nice like silver silk lining and like a dark black material on the outside, but it has the like consistency and stretchiness and feel of like human skin. And as you like put any pressure on it, a little bit of black vampiric ichor um, like leaks from where it seems to be torn.
Hmm. Yeah. Dave's going to pocket that stuff to show Grenari at another time. Right, what else is there? There's like the locker rooms and.
Yeah, there's the locker rooms and the bathroom.
Right, Dave's going to check the locker rooms.
Okay. You go in there, there's a whole bunch of lockers, and like towels and some like shoes and stuff.
All right. And there are all these lockers are like, done the whole clicky
Yeah,
thing or whatever.
they're just regular like padlock lockers, like where they have like the combination locks. I mean.
Okay. Dave's probably gonna. Can I do a perception alertness just to check to see if there's any like smell or anything like that that like more of this vitae or anything other?
Absolutely.
Okay. 3 successes.
All right, so there's a locker at the very back on like the back wall that's separate from all the other lockers, and it's painted purple with like black tribal markings all over it, like painted on. Um, and it has a big like silver star um, on like the top part where the numbers would normally be that has the word champ written in terrible handwriting with like marker on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it has like a standard lock on it, and it
Okay.
smells like Vitae.
Mm-hmm. All right. Last but not least, the toilets.
Okay. As you come out of the locker room, um, you notice standing directly in front of you on the opposite side of the gym floor is like the big, like Samoan simpleton, and he looks down at you. He's got the huge size merit because he's
Mm-hmm.
huge, and he looks down at you from across like the gym, and roll. I guess. Do you have any empathy?
Yep.
Okay, roll perception empathy.
Okay. 3 successes.
All right, cool. So he looks like a cartoon bull who's like getting mad and about to charge. And just as you're thinking that, he lets out this like horrifying scream and sticks his tongue out of his mouth and like shakes his head back and forth and but he just kind of like puts his shoulder down like a footballer and comes charging at you.
Yeah. Hmm. Do you think that dodging may be in order?
Yeah, sure. Do a Dex Athletics.
I think I'll spend a blood to boost his dex up a little bit. 3.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Yes. Oops. It's a bit of a disappointment, but 2 successes.
All right, let me. I can't roll dice stream from my phone. I don't think so. I'm just gonna roll it, and I promise you, I'm not cheating.
Hey, I can roll for you.
Okay, cool. Roll him. What would a tackle be? Still a Dex brawl?
A strength roll.
Okay, cool. That's even
Yeah,
better.
it's difficulty 7, as I recall.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Roll him 7 dice at diff 7.
2.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so tie goes to the defender. So
Yes, that's me.
yeah, you want to describe how you narrowly avoid being smashed into by this guy?
Olay.
Oh, all right, yeah, just like a matador, with like your tool belt jingling, you like dodge him deftly. He goes through the door of the like locker room, like continues going because of his own momentum, and he slips on a towel and like cracks his head on the ground and is just like knocked out. You can hear him breathing. In fact, you can hear him now like snoring almost comically. Um, and then the door to the office like bursts open, and the old man is like, "What's going on? Everything okay?" And then he like kind of looks behind you and he goes, "Oh my God, champ!" And he starts to hobble it over, and Gunari comes over to you and like puts his arm around your shoulder and starts leading you towards the door.
Yeah, and Dave's just kind of a bit like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. They're just kind of
like when you get outside, he like pats you on the back and he's like, "Oh, good job. Let's get out of here."
I didn't do anything though. But yeah, sure. Yeah, and Dave will like head back to the vehicle. You'll never guess what I kind of. Well, I'll tell you when we actually get into the vehicle. So yeah, Dave gets the keys, which probably he puts into the to the socket and everything like that a lot quicker than usual because of the increased decks. And as soon as he gets in and lets Gennari get in, he like doesn't put the pedal to the metal, but he gets out of there sharpish.
Okay.
So I was like, and I don't know why I'm doing this. I like pantomiming. He goes, yeah.
Before you completely pull off, like as you're pulling off, like expediently, do another perception alertness.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay, cool. You get like maybe like 2 blocks away, but then you hear the screech of tires and like a like thing of you just hear like breaking glass and gunshots and shouts, and like in your rear view mirror you see this like black, like maybe like a Lincoln, like a very boxy shaped sedan, um come like whipping around the corner. Some people pop out of like the windows and sunroof with machine pistols and just like light up the entire front of the old Malkavian Primogen's gym with gunfire, and then do a dex drive to get the fuck out of there.
Okay, hang on, let me double check that. 3, 4, 3. There we go. 1 success.
All right, you break every traffic law there is, but you manage to get out of there and get your way back to Avondale to the Varna Garden Apartments with Gunari. Very quickly, and you can tell him whatever you want to tell him on the way.
Yeah, you'll basically say, yeah, well, that was a bit exciting, isn't it? You'll never guess what, but I do think that at least someone, that big Samoan bloke in there, I don't know why he's out of character. I don't know why I use the word bloke. He's Dave's American, and I can't be asked to do an American voice because every time I do try it, it's Canadian. Anyway,
That guy.
I do think that big Samoan guy was a ghoul, and well, basically, I found some creatine by the reception desk, which had a little bit of vitae in it, and also I found this, and Dave will like present him with the piece of skin with the vampire vitae on it. I think this might have belonged to someone. I don't quite know who exactly it could have been. It could have been the Malkavian Primogen, or it could have been, well, you know about the Shemisi, right?
He nods and he picks it up and he more of that V-take runs out and it goes onto the tip of his finger and he
Yeah.
kind of like puts it to his tongue for a second before like spitting and like holding it like at arm's length away. He's like, "This is um, old. This is strong blood, stronger than you or me."
Oh, that's good. Bad?
When we find out who it belongs to, we will know.
How'd you? Okay. How are we gonna do that?
Uh,
But,
we're going to ask Dr. Leroy.
oh, okay. One other thing. In the back, there was this locker with the silver star in it. Obviously, we can't go back there now, but yeah, I think that might have been the Samoan guy's stash, as it were. I don't know why. What exactly happened when you were having a word with that guy?
He told me not very much, that Rosalind Rhodes was dealing with these Mexican wrestlers. They all wear masks. Uh, Many of them look like animals, strange masks, but their leader, he wears how you say, traditional luchador mask. Um, they call him the boss, El Jefe. Uh, he thinks that if anybody knows where Rosalind Rhodes goes, it's El Jefe.
Okay. Um,
I don't know who that is, but we know that he is a masked wrestler, so we'll have to keep our ear to the ground.
okay. Yeah. Remind me again. The Malkavians are the loopy vampires, right?
They have the gift of premonition and sight beyond sight so strongly that it drives them mad, or at least makes them unable to filter all of their extrasensory perceptions away from their mundane ones.
Ah. I'm guessing that might explain the Samoan then. Hope he's all right.
Oh, yes. If indeed he is a Malkavian ghoul, it would no doubt have affected his mind somewhat. Although he didn't look all there anyway. Did you see his skull? It looked like it was made of rocks.
Yeah. Poor guy probably had a concussion from that slip.
Well, if he's hopped up on vampiric vitae, then he will be good as new very soon.
Hmm. Hope so. I mean, I don't. Well, anyway. Okay. Do you want me to drop you off here?
Yes, we live in the same apartment complex. Let's go home.
Oh, of course. Yes, of course. So yes, Dave. Yeah, laugh it up, Eric. Yeah, Dave like parks his truck, in the parking area, and yeah. Now, but when he gets a time to his self, he'll try and get in touch with this Pickles person.
Okay, yeah, it's just an email address.
Okay.
So,
then.
you have Dotson computer?
I believe yes, he does. He has a dot computer.
All right, so remember that shitty Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodlines computer?
Yeah.
you've got that in on like a
Grand.
plastic table, like towards the side of the room.
That's total retro.
Yeah, I mean, like it's fast enough that it's not like totally obsolete. I'm just visually, it looks like that.
Yeah.
And
I'll have to fix myself up something eventually, so I can actually get the half decent apartment that you get when you go into downtown, and the prince is actually happy with you. That's something for another time. Anyway, yes.
When the
yeah,
parent is happy with you.
you can send an email to Pickle.
Okay.
What are you gonna say in it?
Hello, Mr. Pickle. Can we meet sometime, and could you please bring my driver's license? At least somewhere. Basically asking, can we meet, and can you bring me my driver's license back? But obviously being a little bit more polite.
Yeah. You get a pretty immediate response. It says like, "Hello, what's Dave's last name?"
I didn't. That's a good question. I never actually came up with it. I just called him Dave.
All right, pick like a good, like just generic last name.
Smith.
All right, like hello, Dave Smith. Like, sorry for stealing your driver's license. Um, just a formality. LOL smiley face. Um, it's in the mail. I put it in overnight. Wink face, wink face. Um, if you need to meet for anything beyond retrieving your ID, just drop me an email with a time and location, and I'll be there. P.S. Bring live chickens. LOL JK. PSS. I'm not really JKing. Bring me chickens. In all caps.
Well, if he ever has any need for Mr. Pickles, then yes, he will. But I think Dave for the rest of the night will probably, just get to work fixing up the rest of his apartment, and anything else that needs doing.
Oh, you get a text message from like a number you don't know, but it identifies itself as Mario's wife, and she says, like that he is doing well in recovery, at Northwestern Medical Center. Thank you, um, for helping him after the vicious mugging. Love, Peach.
Naturally, Dave would know about this.
Yeah, it's just Mario's wife.
Yes,
She's really hot.
Okay. Yeah, Dave will send a text back saying, "Don't worry about it. I was around and I did the best I could. Hope he's okay."
Yeah, she says he should be back to work soon. Like, thanks again. Good night.
Okay. Right. So yeah. Beyond that, I think we're pretty much done.